Hello everyone, welcome back to Back in Diapers. Yes, I'm in the exact same outfit. I have not moved. But I figured I'd kind of record these two right next to each other because they kind of pertain. So I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on what's gone on in the last couple months with me. You know, the world erupted with COVID-19, things like that. And also I had a huge life change as far as pets go, which many of you who watch my streams will know. So let's start back to almost 3 months ago. It was actually 11 weeks yesterday. Those of you who don't know, my cat Snitch, who is 11 years old, was my baby. We were completely bonded in every way, shape, and form. He went everywhere. I went in the house. He even went outside on walks with me. He loved car rides, all that stuff. You all know who Snitch was if you've seen any of my videos and my streams. You know who he was. Well, sadly, almost 12 weeks ago, he started getting what we thought was a cold. And he did not get better, and he got to within the weekend. We waited the weekend. He was just not himself. Then he started having a really hard time breathing, and that's when we kicked into gear and are like, oh shit, something's wrong. So we called the vet, talked to them about what was going on. They said, well, let's schedule him an appointment. If things are not better, if he gets worse, bring him in, after hours to the emergency part of it. We decided we called my brother-in-law, asked him if he could help us out because, and I'm gonna cry during this, guys, probably. Asked him if he could help us out with the vet bill because we just couldn't afford it, but he was super, super sick and we had to get him in. And it went very different than what we expected. We got him in there. She listened to him. He was not doing well. She said, we need to do some x-rays and I need to check out what's going on. So she did the x-ray and she came back and, she told us what it could be. Could be a cold, could be a respiratory infection, could be something serious. We hoped that it would be just a cold, but it wasn't. And I've shared a little bit of this story, but I'm going to share it more in depth, I guess. But bear with me. She took the x-ray and found that his left lung was completely surrounded by fluid, every aspect of it. And there was a little spot that she saw in there. Being that the fluid had not broached the mediastinum, which is the division in the rib cage and stuff between the two lungs, she's like, let's drain some fluid, take a look at it. Things don't look good. She's like, if I take a look at the fluid, we can kind of tell if there's cells that show cancer or not. So at this point, I kind of started bawling. And while we waited for the read on the cells, she let me go back and see Snitch. She took us back to look at the x-ray and everything and talked about it. And then we brought Snitch back to the room. Mind you, this cat is not himself, guys. He usually walks around the vet office. He usually walks in there on a leash. But he just wanted to be held. He normally is loud on car rides. He loves to talk during car rides. He made one peep. And so we brought him back to the room. She waited till the slide was ready, looked at it, and came back in and gave us the news that it's cancer. No, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. We didn't go see Snitch until she came back and told us it was cancer. So we went to look at the x-ray and hold Snitch. But while we were looking at the x-ray and she showed me, she's like, this is where the cancer is. I practically fell to the ground sobbing. It was the hardest moment of my life, guys. We made the decision that we were going to take him home and have one last night with him. She's like, I don't think he's in that much pain. He's struggling to breathe, but she's like, I don't think he's really in that much pain. Just take him home and have your last night with your boy. So that's what we did. Took him home and snuggled him all night long. All he did was sit with me, didn't eat, didn't drink, nothing. He just sat with me in his little blanket that he loved, his Minion blanket and his pink blanket. Mostly the Minion blanket. He wanted the Minion blanket. And he literally did not move unless I picked him up to move him. And he slept with me that night. I didn't sleep much that night. I got a couple hours, but I did not sleep much. Mostly sat on the couch with him, holding him, petting him, snuggling him, loving him, and kissing him. And then the next morning we still had the appointment, and we changed it to be a situation where we were going to put him to sleep because we could not let him suffer like that and die. She said we could drain his lungs. He might get 2 weeks, but that would be with basically draining his lungs every couple of days. And that's not comfortable for him. It's not a, he's not going to eat. He's not going to drink. Why would we do that? We weren't going to let him suffer. So next morning we took him in, snuggled that boy. We got the most precious photo of him and me at the vet's office, and we put him down. And it did not take him long. He did not struggle. His heart he was ready to go, and it was the most heartbreaking thing. I have now put down 2 pets, my personal pets. I put down my dog Boaz and my down Snitch. We also put down Andrew's parents' cat. That was the hardest thing. Putting down my dog Boaz was hard. This was even harder because Snitch and I had a serious bond that cannot be explained. So that was a thing. Anyway, moving on. I made it about 4 days. This Wednesday after that, I'm like, I needed change. I needed to do some shopping. I needed to change my hair, and I permed my hair. It's gone now, yes. But 4 days into it, so Sunday after he passed, I hit that point where I'm like, I am dropping into this depression. And if I don't go snuggle a cat, I'm gonna die. And that's how it felt like. I literally felt like if I don't go snuggle a cat, I'm gonna die. So we decided to head off to the Humane Society. We knew we were gonna adopt a cat. We expected it to be a couple weeks out. We were planning on adopting like a 3 to 5 year old cat, so it still had a long life, but it wasn't a kitten. And on the website for our Humane Society, and in enters Simon. We'll get to that. Come here, buddy. He won't let me pick him up, or I'd hop him up here and show you guys. But Simon, come here. Where are you? Where'd you go? Hi, baby. We went to see this pair of 8-month-old kittens that were siblings. Because they were kind of speaking to me on the website. We got there and there was zero connection. Those cats did not pay any attention to me whatsoever. And now he's flopped down behind me. So we decided to kind of just walk around, pet some other kitties, and then we happened upon this little pair, Simon and Leo. When we went over there, and Leo pretty much jumped up and was purring right away. He wanted the attention. So we asked if we could open it up. They said, yes, sure. Go ahead, pet him. We opened it up. Simon stood on his hind legs. And I'm like, dude, can I take him into a room just to meet him? And they're like, yes, sure. So I took him into the room and was getting to know him. And he was all purry and happy and more distracted by the room, but he was still this precious little thing. And Hannah stayed back and was back at the same cage, watching, trying to pet Simon. Simon is the skittish one that they said right on there. He's a little shy at first, but once he gets used to you, he'll ask for all the belly rubs. She reached her hand in there, and he rolled over on his back and said, give me all the belly pets. And that's the moment Hannah fell in love. Well, she had been prepared this whole time to tell me no. But when Simon, on cue, when Simon did that, it was done. It was a done deal. And I'm like, and here he is. This is our little boy, Simon. He's only 2. He just turned 2 on the 21st. He is only 2. Simon, or Leo, is only 1. So they're much younger than we were planning. But these 2 were the kitties for us. It just so happened that the Humane Society was running a Valentine's Day sale where they were doing adoptions for $14. So for us, $28. And we adopted these 2 boys. We called Andrew. We're like, hon, these boys, they're wonderful. They've been there for a few months, and we fell in love. And, it's an adoption day, first come, first serve. These kitties could be gone. I'm like, these are our boys. These are our boys. And we weren't planning on getting 2 at first. And it just completely worked out. Every aspect of it. We brought them home. We were picking them up, or while we were picking them up, Andrew had gone over to the Walmart and gotten cat litter and cat litter, litter boxes, and got those all set up in my room for them. We decided to have my room as home base, and within 48 hours, these 2 were out of there. They did not want to be in that bedroom. Leo took almost no adjustment period whatsoever. He was just, boom, this is my home, this is my people, I love you. He specifically was very attached to me at first. Once he got out of the room, he loved all the people. Simon has been a lot slower. Simon has taken the full 11 weeks pretty much to acclimate. Even just this week is something, he started something new. And it's funny because every time it hits that weekend point, he makes it, every time it hits Saturday, Sunday, he makes a new stride in his adjustment. We're like 90% there with him, and he's doing amazingly. He is very much so my cat. He loves me. He sleeps with me. He sits by me. He poops with me. He does everything. Me. He still runs away from the other 2 a bit when they go to pet him, but he comes right up to me and doesn't run. So, but he's very much so acclimated to the household now. He's just got a little bit more to go with Andrew and Hannah. But even then, Andrew and Hannah, this week, he's been going up to Andrew and standing on his chair to get pets and flopping down on the floor for pets. He asks for belly rubs nonstop. Like, if you pet him, he arches his back, or if he sees your hand in a position where he can be pet, the freaking thing, like, practically jumps and rolls his whole back along your hand. He's a gorgeous little thing. He's just such a wonderful little boy. So is Leo. Leo is our naughty boy. Those of you who watch my streams, you know, Leo's naughty. He gets into everything. But we really, really enjoy them, and they have just been just the perfect pair for our household. Like, and it was required if you adopt one of them, you had to adopt the other because they're a bonded pair. They are very bonded. They play together nonstop. They bathe each other. They snuggle. Like, they're always with each other if they have the chance. Right now they're not because Leo is in the living room at the window. But they're very, very bonded, and they're bonding well to us, and it's just been wonderful. And he actually senses, I think he is going to be the cat that kind of understands the emotional aspect of my issues, like the seizures and things. He tends to be a little bit more intuitive. And so, but these are our boys. Anyway, long video. What are we doing during COVID-19? As you all know, I have an immune system that is very compromised. Well, not very, but it is a compromised immune system. I don't have a bunch of organs. I have no spleen, which means I'm really susceptible to flu-like bugs, which COVID is. So what am I doing? I have been in this house for the last 6 weeks or 5 weeks, however long there's been a COVID issue here in Kansas. When we started getting cases in Kansas, that's when I started staying home. Andrew's school that he works for KU. He takes care of the softball field, the track and field, and the soccer field, and the throws field. So he takes care of track and field, softball, and soccer. And the grounds of that. He does the grass and all that. Because the school is shut down, the school pretty much immediately shut down. They said, everybody's out, we're shutting down, y'all are going home. So thankfully it was a go home with pay type of situation. So he's getting paid his base salary. He's not getting overtime right now, but he is getting paid his base salary, which is enough for us to function. Hannah is considered an essential worker. She works at a call center for a banking institution. So she is essential. So she is still working full time. We're taking all the precautions when they go out, if they can, gloves and mask. Not always gloves because they just have to touch the items that they got from the store anyway. But they're wearing masks. They're washing their hands. We're disinfecting door handles and things. I'm washing my hands constantly because I'm very oral fixated. My hands are often in my mouth. So, yeah. But currently we're just in that phase of, right now, Andrew's home all the time. And Hannah's working. And Hannah just started school, which she is having to do it from home online right now. So that'll change because she's going to massage school. 90% of it or 70% of it is hands-on stuff. So, but that's kind of where we are at this point. Nobody that I know or that we know has had COVID in Kansas. I know one person that did, but other than that, I don't know many people who have had COVID yet. So hopefully we stay safe here. Thankfully, the Midwest is not as busy of a place as like New York and those border states that have more points of entry that people come to more frequently for tourism and stuff. But the hardest thing for me is that I cannot go anywhere. It's driving me crazy. I hate it. And normally I go to the grocery store with Andrew and Hannah, or I go to the fabric store, things like that. I can't do any of that right now. Literally staying home. Thankfully, it is safe for me to take walks. Thankfully, I have a walker. Because I've had to stop physical therapy, I've had to stop counseling, I've had to stop all those things, not doing the PT right now. So I am doing what I can to keep my body from declining too far. We've definitely seen some decline where my hips have popped out. I've had a lot more pain, a little bit more balance issue, but I am able to go for a walk. Since I've got my walker, I can do that. So I make sure at least 2 or 3 to 4 times a week, I make sure to get out and get a walk during the day if I can, if the weather permits, if the temperature permits. If it's too cold or too hot, I can't. But when it's like this, I'm going to go for a walk this evening because it's gorgeous outside. We have kind of hit that point where we're starting to get the really warmer weather. We might get some rain and stuff, but right now we're in warm weather, and that's awesome, so I love it. But that's kind of where we're at right now. We're still, like the rest of the world, in a holding pattern of what's going to happen. But we are safe. That is the biggest question I get asked right now. Are you guys staying safe? Are you okay? Yes, we are staying safe, and we are okay. I am definitely keeping all of my immune system as healthy as I can right now. And it's been a fairly healthy year for me because I haven't gotten the flu. I mean, I did get a flu shot and all that. I haven't gotten the flu or colds really, but I have really bad allergies this year, which makes the asthma worse, the lung issues. Like the biggest problem is I have asthma. So if I get something like COVID, I'm going to be in trouble. So seeing as the normal flu and normal allergies affect my lungs, that would just hit them hard. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. It is a 20-minute video. This is plenty for y'all. I need to stop rambling and get some water and go on my walk. But I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around with me. A lot of you have been in my streams, and I really enjoy that. And those will be happening every day pretty much. If I can, I might have to take a couple of break days just to rest my body because just sitting here affects my body as well. But anyway, guys, I will see you all tomorrow for a stream. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye-bye.